What's up everybody? Brian here in the Gecko Lab. Thank you for joining me. This is your weekly hatchling report. Alright guys, so I gotta tell you, the last couple weeks things have actually been a little bit slow on the hatchling front. Like, stuff was still hatching out, but after I got back from the adventure tour in Belize about a month ago, it was an amazing time. Check out my video from this past Saturday if you hadn't. It was such a good trip. But when I got back, there were like a huge number of hatchlings because I'd been gone for a little over 2 weeks and I got to look through everything. It was amazing, but then it kind of slowed down. There wasn't a lot, like there was good stuff hatching, but no real eye poppers like crazy lily whites, axanthics, any of that kind of like real nutso stuff that really gets you going. It was pretty slow on that front. And then we had this past Friday night. I'm sure you guys can infer by the title of this video, Friday was frickin' gangbusters. It was a day for the ages, one for the books, as they say. I could not believe how it was just like, open the floodgates and let's have at it. So that was really fun. But before I get into showing you all the geckos that hatch Friday that I want to show you, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. First up, housekeeping notes. 35% off all the geckos on the website is still live right now. So check out altitudeexotics.com. Everything on there is 35% off. Discounts automatically applied at checkout. So check that out. Now, the story I want to tell you guys has nothing to do with the geckos. It is a personal story of mine, but I love it and it makes me so happy to tell. So I'm going to share it with you real quick. It's fantastic. I recently took my daughter to her first rock and roll concert. My daughter Delilah is 7 years old. So about 1.5 years ago, she was a big fan of Fall Out Boy. She got into their songs from the Big Hero 6 movie and she loved the songs, and then so I would put Fall Out Boy on when we would like make cinnamon rolls and dance in the kitchen on Saturday mornings, and we had so much fun with it and she loved Fall Out Boy, so I bought her tickets to go see Fall Out Boy. And then the pandemic happened and the concert got delayed like 3 times, and now here we are like 1.5 years later and I finally get to take her to this concert. Well, now she's 7 and she doesn't really listen to Fall Out Boy anymore. She doesn't watch Big Hero 6 anymore. I don't even know if this is a good idea. I don't know if she's gonna enjoy it. And my kid, she's kind of timid. Like, she's hesitant to get into new things. She doesn't like loud noises. Like, she's just a very timid kind of kid. That's just who she is. And I love her for that, but I was a little worried about taking her to a rock and roll concert, but I really like to push her because she's like that. I try and expand her mind into new things. So I took her to this concert and we get there. She's only ever been to one other concert in her life, right? So the first band that opened the show was Weezer, and it was still light out, middle of the day. It's an outdoor concert, and Weezer, if you've ever seen Weezer, they stand there and do this. And sing their songs. They don't move. They're like, they could be animatronic and nobody would ever know. So, and you know, people would clap and nobody was really going crazy for Weezer. So she was like, okay, you know, this is kind of cool, but there's a lot of people here that kind of look a little weird and I'm a little overwhelmed. So she asked me at one point, is this going to be like Lindsey Stirling? Because Lindsey Stirling's the only other show she's ever been to. And I told her, well, baby, you know, kind of. It's like Lindsey Stirling, but this is a rock and roll concert, so it's a little different than Lindsey Stirling. And she was like, "What? I don't understand what that means." And I was like, "This is a big deal, baby. It's your first ever rock and roll concert." And she was like, "Why is that a big deal?" We had this whole talk about how Daddy used to be a rock star. Eventually, someday, I'll make a video about that. I promise you guys. I played in a metal band for a long time. I've had a lot of people ask for that video. It's coming at some point. I don't know. It'll get there. Anyways, I told you, Daddy used to be a rock star. I played in a rock and roll band. And she was like, oh, and then like she asked me, how did you and my mommy meet? Just like out of the blue. Asked me, how did you and my mommy meet? I said, well, baby, it's a good thing you ask why rock and roll concerts are special. I met your mommy at a rock and roll concert. And I was just explaining to her like what music is and how it's so impactful in our lives, and it was a really fun experience. So then Weezer gets done playing and Fall Out Boy is about to come on. Well, it worked perfectly because right when they were setting up Fall Out Boy's stage, the sun went down, so it got dark, and my kids never really experienced a real concert before, so all the stadium lights were on, and then she just thought eventually they're going to say, oh, the show is starting. Well, the way they start concerts, all the lights go out. And she kind of freaked out because all of a sudden, all the lights go out, it goes pitch black, and everybody, 25,000 people start screaming, and she has no idea why. So she was kind of freaked out, and she's like holding on to me going, Daddy, what the heck's going on? And I said, well, baby, the show is starting. And then they did their video intro, and she's like, it's not music. So she's freaked out like, what is this? I told her, it's the show. It's okay, baby, just watch it. You'll love it. And she started watching. And thankfully, the first song they played was Phoenix, which is one of her favorite songs. So she knew the first song right off the bat. She got into it right off the bat. They had flamethrowers all over the place. And I was like, this is either going to be awesome or she is going to hate this and freak out and want to leave. And she loved it, you guys. 7 years old. She was standing on the chair next to me, fist bumping, and she's like grabbing me. Daddy, Daddy, his guitar shoots flames out of it. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. That guy's he's playing a piano that's on fire, Daddy. She asked me at one point, how does he do that? I said, well, he's a rock star, baby. That's what rock stars do. And she just had the greatest time. She thought holding my phone up with the light on it for the slow songs was the coolest thing ever. She was fist pumping and singing along. We had the greatest time ever. I could not have enjoyed it more. It was such a great experience. So I had to share that story with you just because it makes me so happy. But I know why you guys are here. You're like, shut up, Brian, your daughter's cute, but get to the geckos. Okay, let's get to the geckos. So this past Friday, I had 6, count them, 6 axanthics hatch out in one night. That's by far a record for me. I don't know why or how or what happened that all of these came out. I only had 2 hets that came out. So like all of 8 sets of eggs, 8 eggs, only 2 were hets. So the odds for one were incredible that we hit to get 6 visuals and only 2 hets. And the fact that they all hatched out, you okay? You falling down? The fact that they all hatched out on the same night was incredible. It was just an amazing thing to go into the incubator and be like, oh my God, look at this. It was fantastic. So this is the first one. We're going to start off with this one. Has the most white on it. White spots down the back. Now, as you guys know, a lot of that white will fade, but this one will keep, like, especially the really white highlighted pins. Those will stay. The white tip crest will stay. It's just a gorgeous animal. A gorgeous, gorgeous high white backed axanthic. I love that one. The second one that came out, more of a classic. This is what I call a classic axanthic. This will look like most of the axanthics you see. Fairly dark, like a real dark gray, not the super black ones, but a dark gunmetal gray, little flecks of white, just a super cool, like it looks like a photoshopped rock of a gecko. Super cool animal. I mean, no axanthics are ugly. They're so cool. The next one came out. I really like this one because this one has a bunch of spots. You can only see a couple in this picture, one big spot right there, but he's got a couple Dalmatian spots on the other side too. Not a ton of Dalmatian spots, not a super Dalmatian obviously, but you guys know I'm working on a super Dalmatian axanthic project, so getting ones with any spots at all right now is huge and key for that project. So that's one I've definitely got my eye on holding back and keeping. The next one that came out, I like even better. He's got more spots and he's a pinstripe. So this one you can see the pinstriping, the highlighted white pins going about halfway up his back. He's still got some stuck shed on him because I took these photos the morning after he hatched and he was just working that shed off. But I love all those spots you can see on him, on his legs, on his sides, that one big one right below the dorsal line. Cool looking gecko. This one will definitely feature in my Super Dalmatian axanthic project. The next one might be all of your guys' favorites because I know what people are digging with axanthics these days. Check this guy out. Jet black with white highlights. This is what, like, everybody that asks me for axanthics are like, they send me this picture and go, I want one of these. And I can't blame you. Look at this thing. This animal does not look real. It's incredible. These things are so unique, so fascinating. Just, they look fake. That's all you can say. I've said it since the first day I laid eyes on them. They look fake, but they're not. They look even better than this in person. It's astonishing. Even 6 years later, it's astonishing when I open my incubator and see one of these. I love it every single time. And then the last one, I told you guys I had 6 axanthics that hatched out, but that was kind of a lie. You might have noticed in the thumbnail picture, if you picked up on it, one of them was actually a lily white axanthic. Check this guy out. High white pattern, solid dorsal, big crests on this one, those big droopy crests. I love that white line going up the back leg. Just a classic lily white, except totally desaturated. And that's what I love about these things. Again, they look fake. The one white spot in the middle of the back leg there, I absolutely love it. These guys are so cool, and I could not have gotten luckier this past Friday night. I was blown away. I am certainly one of the luckiest humans I have ever met. I say it all the time. I have no business being this lucky. It feels like life is a video game and I got a cheat code. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. That's how I feel, especially on nights like this. I am so blessed. So I am so excited to share all of these beautiful geckos with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sitting through my story about my daughter going to the concert, because I just had to share it because, well, I can't tell that story enough times. It was so much fun. It was one of my favorite, I know it will always be one of my favorite memories with my daughter. We had such a good time, just me and her. It was fantastic. But that's the end of my video for today. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know which AXANTHIC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, the lily white AXANTHIC, which one was your favorite? I really want to know what you guys like best. I think I know what the most common answer is going to be, but I want you to tell me. So comment down below, 1 through 6, which one did you like best? Thank you guys for joining me today. As always, I am Brian with Altitude Exotics, altitudeexotics.com. That is /AE Geckos on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget, new geckos for sale nearly every Friday night. Right now, everything on the website is 35% off. That will last until Thursday. Thank you guys. As always, be safe, be kind. I love you guys. I will see you soon.